So what a composite function is, before actually talking about the composite function, you should recall the chain rule which you studied in the differentiation in class 11th or 12th, right? So there was a chain rule in differentiation which was something like this. See, if you use a function of x, right, and further x is a function of t, so there is a kind of chain, u depending on x and then x depending on t, right? Then the derivative of u with respect to t can be evaluated using this chain rule, right? Uh, the diagram can be visualized this way. See, uh, this is your u, right? U is a function of x, and x is a further function of t. Okay, so you have a line like this, and this. You want the derivative of u with respect to t directly, right? And x is acting like an intermediate between them. So first you will find du by dx and multiply it with dx by dt. So that we'll be having du by dt. So this is called a chain rule when you studied the differentiation topic in class 11th or 12th, right? Okay. Now, good thing is that same kind of thing works here also in composite function of several variables. Same situation holds. If you have variables which are depending on one another in turn, then you can always use this chain rule, right? So, first case, if u is a function of x and y, you need to see this picture actually. You see, just see that u is a function of x and y. We are talking about function of more than one variable. We are studying the topic where u is depending on more than one inputs, right? So far you have studied that Euler's theorem, and before that partial differentiation, and all these topics are due to the existence of a function which is having more than one variable, right? So it is clear that u is a function dependent variable, right? And is depending on two input variables x and y, right? X is further depending on t and y is further depending on t by some different functions. X is equal to phi of t, the symbol is for phi, and y is equal to xi of t, right? Okay, so x and y are further dependent on a new variable t. So it's a kind of chain, and that chain can be described by this picture. You can see that uh, u is a function which is sitting at the top. Right? It is depending on two functions. One is x and another is y. You can see that u is a function of x. So I will make an arrow here, and u is a function of y, right? Due to this relationship, and further x is a function of t, so that's why x depends on t like this, and y is also function of t, so y depends on t. So it's a kind of a tree, like you draw a family tree where the your grandparents are at the top, right? And then comes your parents and then the siblings. So this is a kind of relationship very similar to that. Okay, now what do we want? We want to actually see the dependent variable is u, and the independent variable which is not depending on the others, that is t. Of course x and y are independent variables for u, but unfortunately x and y are depending on some new variable t. So if I ask that who is the dependent variable, who is the only dependent variable which is not independent actually, right? So your answer will be, sir, u is the dependent variable, right? And what is the pure independent variable? So you will say that t is independent because t is not depending on further any new variable. Okay, right. So my question is to talk about the derivative of u with respect to t, right? But before actually talking about the derivative of u with respect to t, there are two questions in our mind. First question, whether u is depending t on partially, or are you going to find the partial derivative of u with respect to t, or you are going to find the ordinary derivative of u with respect to t? This is a big question, and who will answer this question? What kind of derivative is du by dt, or you say del u by del t? Anyone? Is there any scope of partiality? If u is a grandparent, you can think of this diagram as u is like a grandparent, right? And x and y are parents, of course they are siblings of this, right? Okay. And T is like a grandson of U, right? So will it be right to say that U will have some partiality towards T? T is the only grandparent of U, or you can say that T is the only, sorry, T is the only grandson of U, grandson or granddaughter. So is there any scope for partiality? Sonu Singh, will you please answer? Sonu Singh, are you hearing me?
यहाँ पार्शियलिटी नहीं होगी ना सर, क्योंकि टी के अलावा कोई और नहीं है ना सर।
बिल्कुल सही कहा आपने। तो du बाय dt लिखना लाजमी है, मतलब du बाय del t लिखने का कोई मतलब नहीं है। हालांकि आप लिख भी देंगे du बाय del t, लेकिन du बाय del t विल बी इक्वल टू du बाय dt। पार्शियलिटी कर भी लेंगे अगर t, तो फिर वो du बाय dt ही होगा। मतलब कहने का मतलब ये कि आप पार्शियल डेरिवेटिव निकालेंगे भी तो भी वो ऑर्डिनरी डेरिवेटिव के बराबर ही होगा। ठीक है, du बाय dt लिखना चाहिए। अब आप मुझे ये बताइए कि u का डिफरेंशिएशन t की रिस्पेक्ट में दो तरीके से या दो रास्तों से पहुंचा जा सकता है। फर्स्ट इज दिस वे, if you find this and then you find this, then you multiply them, because this is a kind of first chain, this is a kind of second chain, right? So you will be approaching t from u via two chains. So just follow the first chain, the left hand side chain. आप मुझे बता सकते हैं लेफ्ट हैंड साइड चेन से क्या निकलेगा? del u by del x होना चाहिए या du by dx होना चाहिए? बड़े सोच समझ के बताइएगा। Should it be del u by del x or du by dx? This thing.
du by dx होगा।
Why u? तो u के पास तो पार्शियलिटी का मौका है ना, u हैज टू, u के लिए तो दो सिबलिंग्स है ना x और y, तो यहाँ पे पार्शियलिटी होगी। देयर विल बी del u by del x, क्योंकि u के कितने चाइल्ड है? दो है ना, x और y, तो यहाँ तो पार्शियलिटी होने का पूरा चांस है ना, क्यों? यस और नो?
रिपीट हो रहा सर एक बार।
मैं कह रहा हूँ कि आपने कहा du by dx, du by dx नहीं हो सकता, इट शुड बी del u by del x, बिकॉज u हैज टू सिबलिंग, टू, क्या कहना चाहिए मुझे, टू सन्स कह लीजिए, या वन सन हो गया और दूसरा उसकी वाइफ होगी, दिस इज द फादर एंड मदर ऑफ टी, राइट? u के पास तो दो हैं पार्शियलिटी करने के लिए, वन इज x एंड अनदर इज y, that's why you can't write du by dx, you have to write del u by del x, because u is depending on two variables ना, x and y। जब भी कोई एक फंक्शन दो वेरिएबल पर डिपेंड करता है, तो ऑलवेज फाइंड पार्शियल डेरिवेटिव, डायरेक्ट डेरिवेटिव कैन नॉट बी एक्चुअली आस्क्ड, यस और नो?
यस सर।
Okay, so see the first chain, this is the first chain, it is half completed now, and then this should be multiplied with the dx by dt or del x by del t, ये अब आपको बताना है। अब क्या लिखूंगा मैं? मल्टीप्लाइड विद व्हाट? del x by del t और dx by dt, क्या होना चाहिए? व्हाट इज करेक्ट?
dx by dt सर।
dx by dt, क्योंकि यहाँ तो पार्शियलिटी का कोई स्कोप ही नहीं है, x का सिर्फ इकलौता है, इकलौता सन है, या जो भी कहिए, गर्ल है, जो भी है, डॉटर है, वो इकलौता है, तो पार्शियलिटी का कोई स्कोप नहीं है। यू शुड राइट dx by dt। आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट व्हाट आई एम डूइंग, राइट? This is just one way to reach t from u via x. Now another is this way, you can go down towards t through this way, that will be plus, because or is represented by plus, right? Then this will be del u upon del y, because there is a scope of partiality. U has two ways, one is towards x and one is towards y. This time you are approaching y from the right hand side, from this way, there will be del u by del y and multiplied by dy by dt. I hope this is clear to all of you. Please ask if somebody is facing any doubt in this, and this is called the total derivative, is total derivative of u with respect to t. Now please see this second picture, right? Here z is the dependent variable which is depending on x and y, so you will write one here, you will write x, and then you will write y. X is a function of u and v, actually x and y both are functions of u and v, so you have to make two pictures this time, right? Because there are two independent variables for this complete tree, one is u and one is v. So one tree will be having u at the bottom, and another tree will be having v at the bottom due to the presence of two independent input variables, right? And z will be at the top. Z is depending on x and y, and x and y depending on v. So you will be having two different trees to represent this situation, right? Now, on the first situation, you see that if you are going to find dz by du, now my question goes to Hadish Sheikh now. Should be del z by del u or dz by du?
सर del z by
del z by
del
du,
u
हाँ क्यों? आंसर दो, सबको बताओ क्यों ऐसा? del z by
सर
del
वो
u
दो
क्यों?
सर u और v दो है ना सर ग्रैंडसन या
हाँ, दो ग्रैंडसन है इस बार जेड के। जेड अकेला है लेकिन दो दो ग्रैंडसन है, यू और वी, तो पार्शियलिटी तो हो सकती है ना, तो पार्शियलिटी करिए फिर। हाँ, dz by du नहीं आएगा बिल्कुल भी। चलिए ये रास्ता कंप्लीट करिए। del z by del u निकालने के भी दो रास्ते हैं। पहला रास्ता ये वाला है जो दिख रहा होगा, जो मैं मार्क कर रहा हूँ। बताइए इस रास्ते से क्या आएगा? बोलो क्या आएगा?
del x
del z by del x
del z by del x
मल्टीप्लाइड विद, अब यहाँ से आओ, हाँ बोलो
dx by d
क्यों dx क्यों बोल रहे हो? dx x दो पे डिपेंड कर रहा है, x u पे भी डिपेंड कर रहा है, v पे भी कर रहा है। x के भी तो दो किड्स हैं। जब आप कह रहे हो कि दो ग्रैंडसन है तो दो बच्चे भी तो होंगे फिर पेरेंट्स के, तो दो ग्रैंडसन होंगे। x ये आएगा del x by del u। क्यों? ये तो पहला रास्ता था। नाउ गो टू द सेकंड वे, राइट हैंड साइड से जाइए इस रास्ते से, दिस वे।
del z by del y
del z by del y डॉट del y by
del y
del
by
u। del u ये del क्यों आ रहा है मालूम चल रहा है ना, क्योंकि पार्शियलिटी के चांसेस y के दो दो सन है, एक u भी है और v भी है, इसलिए पार्शियलिटी होगी यहाँ पे, राइट। और मैंने कलर इसीलिए आपको अलग लिखा है जिससे आपको पता चल जाएगा ये जो है ये इसकी वजह से है और रेड वाला जो है वो इसकी वजह से है, राइट। ओके, चलिए अगला वाला बताइए। इसके लिए सेकंड पिक्चर, प्लीज गो टू सेकंड पिक्चर, सी दिस वन एंड दिस वन। बोलिए
सर del z by del v equal to
इक्वल टू
del z by del x
मल्टीप्लाइड विद
into del x by del v del
del v।
x by del v
बस सेकंड दूसरा
Second.
रास्ता
del z by del y
del z by del y del
del
y
u
by
del y by del
del v, राइट। हाँ, तो इनको टोटल डेरिवेटिव नहीं बोलते हैं, कहीं आप इसको टोटल डेरिवेटिव ना बोले। टोटल डेरिवेटिव यही वाला होता है, ऑर्डिनरी डेरिवेटिव को टोटल डेरिवेटिव बोलते हैं। ये कुछ नहीं है, पार्शियल डेरिवेटिव्स, राइट। दीज आर जस्ट द पार्शियल डेरिवेटिव्स। सो आई विल राइट आर partial derivatives of z with respect to u and v separately, right? Anybody wants to ask something, then please ask. All of you should learn how to write these derivatives because in problems we will be doing that more often. तो अभी समझ पूछ लीजिए जिसको जो पूछना है कि कैसे लिखते हैं, कब डेल लगाना है, कब डी लगाना है, कब प्लस लगाना है, कब मल्टीप्लाई लगाना है। आई होप you know about the use of addition and multiplication. When you do two work simultaneous works, then there is used multiplication. जब दो काम एक साथ करने होते हैं तो मल्टीप्लाई लगाना होता है। जब और करके करना होता है, दो ऑप्शंस होते हैं किसी चीज को, या तो ऐसा करिए या ऐसा करिए, तो प्लस का यूज करिएगा। तो जैसे आपको z से, अगर आप पहले वाले रास्ते से देखें सीधे, z से आपको u पे आना था, तो पहले z से x पे आना पड़ेगा और उसके बाद इमीडिएटली आपको x से u पे आना पड़ेगा, इसीलिए मल्टीप्लाई। विश्वजीत वेरी कंफ्यूज की बात नहीं है, वेरी कंफ्यूज नहीं होना है आपको। मैं दोबारा से बोल रहा हूँ जो अभी लेट आए हैं, मैं आपको कह रहा हूँ, सी दिस पिक्चर, इस पिक्चर पे गौर करिए। z is a function of x and y and x and y is a function of u and v, right? So that's why I made two pictures actually. Now see this first picture, please pay attention to this first picture. You want to compute the derivative del z by del u. You cannot compute dz by du from this picture because z is like a grandparent, x is like father, y is like mother, right? And u is like son of x and y, right? They are just sitting at the hierarchy where z is like a grandson, head of the family. This is the head of the family, and this is the second layer of the family, husband and wife. and u is the first kid. Similarly, z again here, v is the second kid of x and y, so that's why you have to make two separate pictures, right? In using this first picture, if you want to compute del z by del u, see this del z by del u, you can reach u from z via to this path, this and this. This is the first path you can use to reach u from z. The second path is this one, this and this, right? So you have one path and second path. That's why you can use plus between them, because you have two ways to actually reach u from z, either through x or through y. Right? Now see the first path. Please pay attention. This is very important. When you reach, when you go through this edge like this, you are reaching x from z. Just write it del z by del x, right? Okay, and whenever you write del z by del x, don't write dz by dx. See, del z by del x, do not write dz by dx, because z is actually depending on two. One is x and other is y. Z has to be partial. Either it will go follow the way towards x, or it will follow the way towards y. So z has to think partially, right? If z is following this way, then z will be ignoring completely y. So this is called partiality. Whenever you have two ways to go, either left or right, and you are choosing right, it means that you are partial. Right? You are ignoring left. This is the logic, right? But if you have only one way to go through, there is only one way, right? Then you can't say that you are partial. You are not having any other option, right? So मरता क्या ना करता, वो पार्शियलिटी नहीं होती. जब मरने की बात होती है तो कुछ करना ही पड़ता है. एक ही ऑप्शन है कि अब नदी में आपको फेंक दिया तो तैरना ही पड़ेगा, चाहे आपको आता ना आता हो. तो वहां पे पार्शियलिटी जैसी बात नहीं होती, राइट? पार्शियलिटी तब है कि लाइफ जैकेट अगर आपके पास है और वैसे ही आपको कूदना है नदी में, तो तब वहां पे पार्शियलिटी की आइदर यू विल चूज लाइफ जैकेट जिसके साथ आप डूबेंगे नहीं, और दूसरा आप सीधे ही कूद जाएंगे जिसको तैरना आता हो. पार्शियलिटी वहां पे होती है जहां दो रास्ते होते हैं, या तीन भी हो, तीन ऑप्शंस भी हो तो पार्शियलिटी होगी. अकेला ऑप्शन में कोई पार्शियलिटी नहीं होती जब आप पे कुछ ऑप्शन ही नहीं है, राइट? तो अब आप ये देखिएगा, फर्स्ट इज डेल जेड बाय डेल एक्स. जब आप ऐसे आए, पार्शियलिटी का ऑप्शन था जेड के पास, तो डेल जेड बाय डेल एक्स मल्टीप्लाइड विद डेल एक्स बाय डेल यू. ऑफ कोर्स एक्स के पास भी आपको पिक्चर में भले ही ना दिख रहा हो, कि आपको लग रहा हो कि एक्स के पास एक रास्ता तो यू पे जाने का, लेकिन नहीं भाई, एक पिक्चर और देखिए बगल में, एक्स हैज अनदर वे टू गो टुवर्ड्स वी. एक्स दो पे डिपेंड कर रहा है, या तो यू पे भी जा सकता है या वी पे भी जा सकता है. एक्स के दो, एक किड नहीं है, एक सन नहीं है, दो सन है. एक्स और वाई के दो सन है, एक यू भी है और एक वी भी है. इसीलिए मैंने इसको दो डिफरेंट पिक्चर में बनाया है. हाँ, ऐसा भी मैं कर सकता था कि मैं इसी में एक और पिक्चर ऐड कर देता, ऐसे ऐसे करके, ये वाली इस तरीके से. टू पिक्चर्स कैन बी मर्ज्ड लाइक दिस, और यहाँ पे मैं वी लिख देता, राइट? एंड आप समझ रहे हैं मैं क्या कहना चाह रहा हूँ? ऐसे भी नहीं, बल्कि शायद ऐसा, इस तरीके से कुछ. Yeah. Now see, two pictures can be clubbed, but I have made two different pictures, जिससे कि आप कंफ्यूज ना हो. आप देखिएगा कि जब आप डेल जेड बाय डेल एक्स निकाला, फर्दर एक्स से यू पे जाने का, या तो यू पे जाएगा या वी पे जाएगा, तो पार्शियलिटी का ऑप्शन था, इसीलिए यहाँ पे डेल आया, राइट? कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो प्लीज पूछ लीजिए. प्लस क्यों आया? प्लस दूसरे वाले रास्ते के लिए आया. जब आप इस रास्ते से आएंगे तो उसके लिए ये वाला एक्सप्रेशन आएगा. में dz by du नहीं होगा, नहीं होगा. dz by du क्यों होगा? पार्शियलिटी हो रही है. dz, z इज द ग्रैंडफादर, उसके दो दो ग्रैंडसन है, u भी है, v भी है, तो dz नहीं होगा, डेल होगा उसमें. डेल d तभी आता है जब एक ही ऑप्शन होता है, जब एक वेरिएबल पे डिपेंड कर रहा होता है. z कितने वेरिएबल पे डिपेंड कर रहा है? फाइनली देखिए, z इज डिपेंडिंग ऑन वेरिएबल्स u and v. एक्चुअली z इज द ग्रैंडफादर ऑफ two grandsons u and v, so you can't write d straight away, right? You have to write del. पार्शियलिटी करनी पड़ेगी उसको. जब u के बारे में, u से डिफरेंशिएशन करना पड़ेगा, u की रिस्पेक्ट में, तो पार्शियलिटी होगी. v की रिस्पेक्ट में करेगा तो भी पार्शियलिटी होगी. u इज इक्वल टू एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस वाई स्क्वायर प्लस जेड स्क्वायर, राइट? एंड x is further depending on t. You can see that u is depending on x, y, z, right? X is depending on t, y is also depending on t by this function, right? And z is also depending on t by this function, right? You have to find. My first question goes to Mr. Hadid Sheikh. Will it be del u by del t, or it be du by dt? What is correct? If you write del u by del t, that is also feasible, but more clearly it should be du by dt. I will add that as a remark, but in question I am writing it as du by dt, du by dt, because u is having only one grandson this time. And before actually proceeding the towards the solution of such a question, you should first draw the family tree, right? Drawing a family tree is always good. So u is lying at the top, right? And now uh, and here is the one which is depending on x, and u is depending on y, and u is depending on z. Due to this, u is function of x, y, and z, right? Okay. And further, x is a function of t, so you should write t here, t. Okay. Y is also function of t from this, and z is also function of t. Okay. So this is a kind of family tree we'll be having, where u is like a grandfather, x, y, and z are like the first level guardians of t. The first level guardians are your mom, father, aunt, uncle, right? And second level guardians are like your grandparents. Okay. Now you need to find du by dt. Okay. Now I have three ways actually. Please pay attention, all of you who joined late. Okay. So I will be finding du by dt, right? Okay. And this will be an ordinary derivative, because t is the only grandson of u. There is no scope of partiality, so it will be du by dt. Please pay attention. Now you can reach t via three different ways, right? I will be using three different colors for them actually. If I want to show it very clearly, the first is this red color picture. The u is coming towards x, and that will be del u by del x. Of course, there should be some partiality, because u is having three siblings at the first level, so u has to be partial if he's choosing this first way. He's ignoring actually these two ways. Okay. Now, on reaching here, you have to follow this way. And will it be dx by dt or del x by dt? Now, who will answer? Aman Tomar will answer. Dx by dt. Shivam Verma already answered. So it will be dx by dt, because there is no scope of partiality. Right? Generally, we use a small dot here. Okay, fine, that's fine. Then plus. Now I will change my color. And this is the second way to reach t via y. Okay, so I will write it with a different color. That will be del u by del y multiplied with dy by dt, and then plus, and now different color. Okay, now there's a third way. First is this, we'll write del u by del z, because u has to be partial. He is choosing this third way, multiplied with dz by dt, and this will be represented by this arrow, right? Is it clear to all of you? There's a first category question where there's only one grandson. There may be more than one grandson. I think next question will be addressing that. Please, anybody, if anybody wants to ask something, is anybody is facing any doubt, then please stop me at this point, because after this I will be non-stoppable. Anyone? Okay, fine. Now please pay attention.
सर
पूछिए.
सर आपने बोला था लास्ट टाइम जब एग्जांपल दे रहे थे तभी आपने बोला था कि एक रास्ता होगा तो दूसरे रास्ते को इग्नोर करते हैं.
हाँ, of course.
तो सर यहाँ पे
एक समय
x
में एक ही
वाला भी ले
रास्ता
लिया है, y वाला भी लिया है, z वाला भी ले लिया है.
हाँ, एक समय में एक ही रास्ता, और है ना बीच में इसका मतलब होता है और, या फिर ऐसा, या फिर ऐसे भी कर सकते हैं. तो और के लिए प्लस आता है, प्रोबेबिलिटी में भी तो ऐसे होता है, और के लिए प्लस आता है और एंड के लिए मल्टीप्लाई आता है. तो जहां जहां पे एंड था वहां मैंने मल्टीप्लाई लगाया. देखिए बीच में मल्टीप्लाई लगा रखा है, मल्टीप्लाई तो है इनके बीच में, ये तो इकट्ठे करना पड़ेगा ना दोनों काम. और जहां पे दो चॉइस है मेरे पास, तो मैं प्लस लगा रहा हूँ. क्यों? प्रोबेबिलिटी में भी तो ऐसे ही होता है.
ओके सर.
हाँ, ठीक है, चलिए. अच्छा ये बताइए, del u by del x कितना आएगा? What will be del u by del x? Just differentiate this partially with respect to x. What will be del u by del x? Please tell me. Okay, 2x, only 2x, right? What will be dx by
2x.
dt? Dx by dt. Dx by dt. Dx by dt. See this. Differentiate this. Yeah.
e to the power t.
Great. Right. Plus del u by del y. I think del u by del y will be obtained from here. Yeah.
2y.
2y. Okay. What will be dy by dt? Okay, that will take time. I should compute those partial derivatives, and as everything here, I should compute partial derivatives here. Del u by del x was 2x. Del u by del y was 2y. And del u by del z is 2z. So these are the partial derivatives. And these are the direct ordinary derivatives. Dx by dt, you already found it. It is e to the power t. Dy by dt, if you differentiate this with respect to t, then e to the power t sine t, and it will be multiplied by something
Cos t.
which is t cos t plus sine t, right? This is due to the product rule. Now dz by dt equal to e to the power t cos t, and here you will be having something like minus t sine t plus cos t. Okay, so using these derivatives and partial derivatives here in this formula which you just wrote using that tree, just substitute these values. Dy by dt will be e to the power t sine t and t cos t plus sine t, and del u by del z is 2 times z, and dz by dt is e to the power t cos t, and then you have minus here. Okay, fine. So why don't I write it like this: minus t cos t plus cos t. Sorry, it is sine t actually. Okay, right. So are there terms which are cancelled with each other? No, I think.
Common.
No. Common, yeah, we can take common. E to the power, no, e to the power t cannot be taken common. I think, yeah, we
Two है
just
ना?
take two common, और तो कुछ ज़्यादा होने लग नहीं रहा है मुझे, कुछ स्कोप है भी नहीं
फिर वो
इसमें मुझे लगता
e to the power 2 common नहीं
है। e to the power t नहीं आ रहा ना कॉमन, ये फिर ये फंसाएगा ना आपको। e की पावर t sin t है ना, t प्लस sin t थोड़ी जो पावर आप प्लस करी, तो फिर कुछ हो नहीं सकता, कुछ ज़्यादा कुछ है नहीं इसमें करने को, ऐसे ही छोड़ देते हैं आंसर, क्या करना है, कुछ टू कॉमन लेके भी क्या बड़ी बात हो जाएगी, कुछ हो तो कैंसिल तो कुछ नहीं हो रहा है ना, कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है, कुछ नहीं है, बस यही आंसर है, छोड़ दीजिए उसको, राइट। और बात ये है कि इन दिस केस u हैज ओनली वन independent variable t. Thus अगर आप del u by del t भी पूछा जाता आपसे तो भी आंसर यही होता, du by dt के इक्वल होता। पार्शियलिटी कर भी लेता हो तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, आंसर यही आना था। ओके, चलिए अगले सवाल की तरफ बढ़ते हैं। क्वेश्चन नंबर 2। If z is a function of x and y, so z, x and y are first level guardians of what? Of x equal to e to the power u plus e to the power minus v. So x is depending on u and v, and y is also depending on u and e to the power minus u and e to the power v. So you have minus here actually, like this. Show that del z by del u minus del z by del v equal to x del z by del x minus y del z by del y. Okay, now solution. And it is always good to make a family tree. You can see that z is sitting at the top of this hierarchy, and z is depending on x and y, so there will be two arrows, so one is towards x and another is towards y, right? Okay, now see, x is a function of u and v, y is also a function of u and v. So in this family hierarchy, it is having actually two grandsons or granddaughters. One is u and another is V. So we will be having, yeah, of course, partiality. So of course we'll be having two trees actually. You can also merge those two trees into just one picture, but I am not doing that to make things clearer, right? Okay, so I'm making two pictures actually. One is where the bottom, the member at the bottom is U, and another tree which will be very similar to this one. I will just copy this. Okay, copy. Yeah. And here we'll be having V at the bottom, right? So you are having actually two family trees, one family tree split it into two subtrees, right? Okay, now from the first family tree you can find now my question goes to who should I ask? Shivam Verma. Okay, he already told the answer, del z by del u, because there is a scope of partiality. This time the family is having two grandsons for a grandfather, so he will be doing partiality. One is when he is partial towards del z by del u, but before that actually I need to compute the derivative somewhere here. If I found see, del z by del x can be found. And let me leave the space for these derivatives. I will just write here. Yeah. You can write del z by del u. You can see that you can reach u from this way, right? And if you follow this left way, then you will be finding what, del z by del x, because there is partiality, multiplied with the del x by del u. Of course there is partiality. X is having two sons this time. One son is u and another is v, so I have used partial derivative. Now plus, now second way is this way. If you follow this way, then that will be del z by del y times del y by del u, right? And from this second picture I will be having del z by del v equal to del z by del x times del x by del v plus del z by del y times del y by del v. So this is from this second picture, right? Okay, now what do I need? I need to compute these partial derivatives occurring here in these two relationships. So first is del z by del x. Who will help me to find del z? Sayantani Biswas, if she is there. Del z by del x. Sayantani,
Yes, sir.
please find del z by del x, partial derivative with respect to x from this. Okay, yeah.
Sir, f dash x.
F dash. Okay, F dash. Are you sure that you should write F dash or del f by del x? Should it be F dash or del f by del a? Are the two same things? Should I write this or should I write this? Do you know that this is nothing but df by dx? Whenever you
Yes.
use dash, please do not use dash, or you call it primes. Dash is called a prime, right? Do not use dash whenever you are differentiating something partially. Are you getting my point?
Yes, yes, I got it.
So please avoid using dash. Dash is reserved when you are a function of one variable. Okay. Okay. So what will be the answer? Del
Sir, del
f
f by
by
del.
del x. Okay, fine. And okay. And else? What do I else need? I need del z by del y also. And del z by del y will be similarly del f by del y. I also need del x by del u, and that can be found from there. Del x by del u. Please use this relationship, Anthony. Del x by del u.
Yes, sir. The e to the
Is
power u.
to the power u. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Del x by del v.
E to the power minus 3.
Should it be multiplied with minus sign, because
Yes, yes,
there is a
minus,
definition of
minus,
powers. Okay. So then del y by del u.
minus e to the power minus u.
Okay. And finally, del y by del v. Yes.
Minus e to the power, yes.
Okay, fine. Now you just need to plug these partial derivatives here and then here. Okay, let me put them. See, I will just make a box on them. Okay, fine. Now use del z by del x. What was that? Del z by del x is del f by del x. Del f by del x. What is del x by del u? Del x by del u is e to the power u. Del z by del y is okay. Del y by del u is negative, so minus del z del f by del y, and del y by del u is this much. Fine. Similarly, del z by del x is del f by del x, and del x by del v is minus e to the power minus v. Then del z by del y is del f by del y, and del y by del v minus e to the power v. Now what do I need? I need to find this left hand side. The left hand side is just the subtraction of these two equations. Let me call it equation number 1, and this is your equation number 2. So if I subtract second from first, I will be getting that left hand side, right? Or I can use just LHS is actually del z by del u plus del z by del v. This is the left hand side, and you have to use those equation number 1 and second. If you use equation number 1 minus second, so can we do it manually? Yeah. If you subtract the first term, then del f by del x can be taken common, of course. So del f by del x can be taken common, and inside bracket you will be having e to the power u and plus e to the power minus v here. And if I subtract this from this, then minus of del z by del v, then what will happen? Minus of del f by del y can be taken common. Inside bracket you will be having e to the power minus u, what I did, minus e to the power v, I think, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, okay, fine. Now see, this is nothing but what is this? This is x, yeah, and this is nothing but this is y. So you can replace them by x and y. So that will gives you x del f by del x minus Sonu Singh, what do you want to ask, please?
सर ये हो जाएंगे सर. दूसरा डाउट था सर.
हाँ पूछो.
सर अपने ये निकाला del x by del u निकाला.
del x by del u निकाला.
तो
हाँ ये निकाला.
u कैसे होगा सर?
हाँ e to the power u होगा. e to the power u. यहाँ से करो डिफरेंशिएशन.
dx by du निकालेंगे. बस
dx by du तो निकालेंगे. dx by dt तो निकाल ही नहीं पाएंगे ना हम, तो del निकाल पाएंगे ना. x का तो दो का फंक्शन है ना. dx by dt तो आपको चाहिए ही नहीं कहीं, पहली बात तो यहाँ dx by du की रिक्वायरमेंट. आप ये पूछ रहे हैं ना मुझसे del x by del u. अरे वैसे ही पूछ रहे हैं. dx by du अगर निकालें dx by du तो क्या होगा? अगर निकालें तो नहीं निकाल सकते आप. dx by du नहीं निकाल सकते, तो निकाल ही नहीं सकते. हाँ, दो पे डिपेंड कर रहा है ना, कैसे निकाल लोगे आप? दिस इज इक्वल टू RHS. क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 इज थोड़ा डिफरेंट है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 काफी डिफरेंट है. u इज अ फंक्शन ऑफ f and e to the power y minus x, e to the power z minus x, and e to the power x minus y. Show that del u by del x plus del u by del y plus del u by del z equal to 0. और इस क्वेश्चन में एक अजीब बात यह है कि इसमें तो कुछ ऐसा लग ही नहीं रहा, चेंज जैसी कुछ बनी नहीं रही है. ऊपर वाले क्वेश्चन में तो लग रहा था कि u फंक्शन था एक्स वाई का, एक्स और y फिर से फंक्शन थे, ठीक है. ऐसा कुछ यहाँ पे नहीं है. ये तो एक ही में खत्म हो गया. एक ही रिलेशनशिप गिवन है. अभी तक तो क्वेश्चंस में बहुत सारे रिलेशंस दिए रहते थे, राइट. तो क्या ये क्वेश्चन अलग है? लेकिन नहीं, ये क्वेश्चन अलग नहीं है. ये क्वेश्चन ऊपर के क्वेश्चंस के जैसा है, लेकिन थोड़ा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड फॉर्म में दिया गया है. बल्कि आपको पहले इसको ऊपर वाली फॉर्म में लाना पड़ेगा. कैसे लाना पड़ेगा देखिएगा, ये बड़ा आसान है. एक काम करते हैं कि हम इसको लिख देते हैं. गिवन जो आपको गिवन है आपको u इज अ फंक्शन ऑफ, लेट आई राइट इट l m n, राइट, वेयर I have assumed L is e to the power y minus x. M is actually e to the power z minus x, and n is actually e to the power x minus y. Now at this point the question becomes similar to the last question. Actually, see this question, that was a function of x, an arbitrary function of x and y. X was function of uv, y was function of uv. Now this question number 3 has been converted into that form. U is a function of lmn, arbitrary function. L is function of x, y, z. Ym is function of x, y, z. N is also function of x, y, z. Right. So this is a way how to convert function of this form into a function of composite function, the form which you were dealing in the past 2 questions, right? So this is a small substitution. Just assume these complicated variables as new variables L, M, N. Right? Okay, now we are in position to make a family tree. Okay, the family tree is something like this. Okay, so U is sitting at the top of the hierarchy. U is depending on L, M, N, right? So I will be making 3 branches going out from U. One is L, another is M, and third branch is towards N. Now, please pay attention. This is very important. L, if you see this, particularly this one, you will say that sir, L is a function of x and y because z is not here. If you look particularly on this relationship, you will say that sir, M is a function of z and x because y is absent here. If you see this, you will say that sir, N is a function of x and y, but z is not here. But actually, talking about L, M, and N in this way, I mean, considering themselves as a function of 2 variables only at a time, that will not solve your problem, right? You should say that sir, this L is a function of x, y, and z. So you cannot see z here. Even then, you can express this L as a function of x, y, and z. You can always write this as z to the power 0 times e to the power y minus x, the first function. I hope you are getting my point. Let me ask Hadid Sheikh, the CR of this FSC branch. Hadid Sheikh, please appear.
Yes, sir.
Please, if I ask you to express this L as a function of x, y, and z, you can see that z is not there in L. Na?
Yes, sir.
How will you how will you rewrite this function so that z is visible here? Z is like invisible here on the right hand side. Can you put z somewhere in the right hand side and then it will become function of x, y, and z? Is it a way to do that? Huh?
No, sir, I think not.
Can't you write it as multiplied with z to the power 0? What is z to the power 0?
0.
Z to the power anything to the power 0 is 0 or 1?
Sir, 1. Sir, 1.
1. So can you
1,
write this
1,
as
1,
z to
1.
the power? Okay. And you can see that y is completely missing here. So if someone says that no sir, m is not a function of x, y, and z, so I will justify my point by writing y to the power 0. Now I will say that see y is appearing here, so m is a function of x, y, and z. And same logic can be given for the last n also, right? So this is a nice way to express a given variable into 3 variable or more than 3 variable if they are not actually having the third variable, right? So this is my point. Actually, I want to do that because I want a uniformity. I want that U is a grandfather of the family, right? L, M, N are parents of kids X, Y, and Z. This is what I want, so that I will be having 3 pictures, overall 3 pictures. Okay, and uniformity will be maintained, and I can thoroughly use those derivative formula. Okay, now please put the first kid of the family at the bottom like this. Okay, so this is the first picture. I will copy this picture and use this picture here and here also. 3 pictures because there are 3 grandsons. Okay, one is X, another is Y, and oh, where is that? Where should you have? You should have Z here. This is N. this is M, you had L, and here you had Z at the top. So three pictures for, sorry, U, not U. Three pictures for one family. Okay, now if I ask you to find del U by del X, then who will answer me? Who will answer me? Del U by del X on the first picture. And let me compute a few partial derivatives from here, so that I'll be using them. Let me compute del U by del L, or should I leave del U by del L, because del U by del L is nothing but del F by del L. There's no point to write that. Okay, so del U by del L will be F, no, not F, del F by del L. Del U by del M will be del F by del M, and del U by del N will be del F by del N. This is obtained from the partial derivation of U with respect to L, M, and N respectively, right? Okay. Now differentiate this del L by del X. Del L by del X, you are differentiating this with respect to X. What will be the answer? E to the power y minus X multiplied with minus 1. Del L by del Y, differentiation of this with respect to Y, that will be e to the power y minus X. And del L by del Z, since you can see that there is no Z here actually, so that differentiation of that will be 0.
E to the power Z minus X.
Multiplied with minus 1 also. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Del M by del Y. Del M by del Y.
Y, sorry.
0.
Same, sir. 0.
0. And del M by del Z.
Different. E to the power Z minus X.
E to the power Z minus X. Okay. Now del N by del X. Can you see there is a relationship of N, X, and Y and Z? Okay. Del N by del X. E to the power X minus Y. Right? Del N by del Y. Minus e to the power X minus Y. And del N by del Z will be equal to 0, of course, if I'm not wrong. I think del N, something is wrong, because L, no, these two can't be same. This is y minus X, this is Z minus X. It should be y minus Z minus X. I think something is wrong somewhere. I don't think that you'll be able to get 0 from this, because 0 should appear at the symmetric positions. No? 0 is appearing here, 1 0 should appear here actually. I think 1 second. It should be, let me correct this question. It should be Z minus X, I think. No, Z minus, no. Y minus Z. Yeah, now it's correct. Y minus Z, it should be. Y minus Z, yeah. L is actually e to the power y minus Z, it should be. So I will change a few derivatives. See, del L by del X should be 0. Okay, this should be 0. This one. And then del L by del Y, okay, this will be e to the power y minus Z. Del L by del Z will be minus of e to the power y minus Z. Now it's correct. Okay, 0 is appearing at the independent positions, right? You see that 0 is appearing in the diagonal position if you took this whole procedure as a matrix. Okay, fine. Now I will find this del U by del X, and please use this tree number 1 to find del U by del X. Who will be joining us to help write this del U by del X? Hadith Sheikh, the CR of FSC branch. Please tell me del U by del X using the first picture.
Del U by del X.
Yeah, del U by del X using the first picture. Huh? This picture. Actually, we have 3 ways. One is this way, and when you use this way, then you will be finding del U by del L. Oh. times del L by del X, right? Now not audible. Hadish Sheikh, you are not audible. Yeah, this will be the value of del U by del X. Now using the partial derivatives, del U by del L was del F by del L, del L by del X by del X will be was 0, and del U by del M was this, and del M by del Y was also 0. Yeah, no, del M by del X. Where is del M by del? Okay, minus e to the power z minus x times del U by del M, that is del F by del M. Del U by del N is okay, that is fine. Del N by del X, where is that? Del N by del X is yeah, plus e to the power x minus z del F by del N. This is the first partial derivative of U with respect to x. And now I will copy this rule. Now this is del U by del Y, and you have to use second picture this time. Now who will join us? Sonu Singh,
Yes, sir.
please make few changes in the formula I have just copied from the first part. Now tell me what should be del U by del L. Okay, this is fine. Del L by del Y. I think this variable should be changed only. Now it's fine, right?
Yes, sir.
Del L by del Y is e to the power y minus
Or
z
1 minus
del
del
F
F
by
by del F.
del L. Then del M by del Y is 0, no? Okay, that will be 0. And del U by del N, okay, del N by del Y minus e to the power x minus y
Or
del
x
F
minus
by
y del
del
N.
N. Okay,
Del
now again, and again copy paste, and this is now del third picture, using third picture, del U by del Z. So you will be using that third picture, okay, this one. And first is this path, which is the first way to reach Z from U, and then second and then third. Okay, now del U by I will make few changes first. Del U by del L, and then del L by del Z, because this time the grandson is Z. So I will make the changes here. Okay, del U by del is same. Del L by del Z is how much is del L by del Z,
Del
and del U by
minus
is del
e to the power y minus z.
Y minus Z. Del F by del
Del F
L, del M by del Z, where is that? Del M by del Z, okay, plus e to the power Z minus X, and del
0.
F by del M. Okay, now what do they want? They want to add you all these three partial derivatives. Let me add them first. This is second, and this is third. If you add them first, the second, please verify, are they really cancelling with each other to get 0? Yes, I think this will be cancelled
Yes,
with
sir.
this. This will be cancelled with where is that?
Second one.
Second, say this one. This is x minus z यार. This is x minus y.
Sir.
ये कुछ गलत हो गया क्या? कुछ गलत वैल्यू पुट कर दी.
Associate.
कुछ तो गलत किया है. x del m by del x उल्टा रख दिया ना. नहीं, del n by del x, तो हाँ ये गलत लिख दिया ना, ये y होना था. दिस इज y
Sir,
एक्चुअली.
minus
अब ठीक है, ये था ना इसका वैल्यू, ये था, गलत पुट कर दिया था, y था, राइट. ये हो रहा है इससे कैंसिल, और ये हो रहा है इससे कैंसिल, सारे हो रहे हैं एक दूसरे से कैंसिल. यू आर गेटिंग 0, राइट. आई एम रिमूविंग दिस कैंसिल साइन एक्चुअली, जिससे आप कंफ्यूज ना हो जाएं कि ये बारिश क्यों हो रही है. del u by del y del u by del z इक्वल टू 0 आ गया. आई थिंक वी शुड कंप्लीट दैट क्वेश्चन, राइट. छोटा ही क्वेश्चन है, इसी के जैसा ही है, लेकिन y minus x upon xy, z minus x upon xz. छोटा ही क्वेश्चन है. Prove x square del u by del x plus y square del u by del z, z square del u by del z equal to 0. So आप देख रहे हैं this question is very similar to the last question, question number 3. थोड़ा सा ही difference है, बस difference भी क्या है, you have to assume these ugly looking variables as l, m and n, right? So let l is equal to y minus x upon xy. Let me change them at like this, 1 upon x minus 1 upon y. This will be good, I think. Yeah. And m is equal to the second variable, that is z minus x upon xz, and that reduces to 1 upon x minus 1 upon z. ये सिर्फ इसलिए कर रहे हैं कि पार्शियल डिफरेंशिएशन करने में आपको अच्छा लगे. इसका पार्शियल डिफरेंशिएशन करने में आपको मुश्किल होगी. ये इजी है सेकंड वाला, राइट. Then u is a function of l and m. Now you can make a happy family tree, right? Okay, the family tree is having u at the top, and u is depending on variables l, m, n. You can see it from here. L is a function of x, y, and z. You can say that z is invisible here. You can always write this as a here like z to the power 0. That is fine, right? So L is a function of x, and this picture can be used once again, right? Where n is at the y is at the bottom, and once again where z is at the bottom, right? Okay. So y is the grandson in the second picture, and here you have the grandson z in third picture. Okay, you now see what I will do. I will not find partial derivatives. I'm using shortcut as short as possible to save time. Now see, find del u by del x, del using the first picture, right? So del u by del x is equal to del u by del l times del l by del x, right? So del l by del x is actually minus 1 upon x square. I am using the shortcut, not writing the formula this time. And del u by del u by del m, and del m by del x, if you find del m by del x from here, that will be minus 1 upon x square. Okay, so this is your del u by del x from the first picture, right? And from the second picture you can find del u by del y, and I'm writing it here, and del u by del y is equal to the first way is this way, del u by del l times del l by del y. If you differentiate del l by del y, you will be getting 1 upon y square with positive sign, and then del u by del m, and then del m by del y. Del m by del y is what? Del m by del y is 0 actually, 0. Okay, and del u by del z can be obtained from the third picture. Please pay attention. If you missed these two calculations, then please pay attention. This is the last picture I'm using. I'm going to find del u by del z. I'm using the first path, this path. You can see that the first path is going from u to l, so del u by del l, and the second is del l by del z, right? This L here and M here. Okay, del L by del Z, del L by del Z. If you find del L by del Z, just find del L by del Z from here. So del L is not depending on Z actually. So del L by del Z will be 0. Plus del U by del M, and del U by del M is along this path, and then del M by del Z. So del M by del Z from this will be plus 1 upon Z square. Okay. Now you want to add them. So you want to multiply first with x square, then y square, then okay. So I will just pick left hand side. LHS is equal to x square del u by del x plus y square del u by del y, z square del u by del z, and that really gives you 0, I think. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that is giving you 0. Using first, second, and third.